What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you my top 5 shoulder exercises that help me build my Death Star delts. Now, obviously, delts, not one of my strongest body parts, but I'm going to be listing the 5 that I think have grown them the most and have given me the best results so far in my training. So, in no particular order, let's get right into it. So the first exercise I'm going to go for is the machine lateral raise. Now, I really like this lateral raise variation because it's a machine, one, which means it's very stable, but two, it provides a more constant tension throughout the range of motion, whereas something like dumbbells, you're only getting tension at the very top, and then tension slowly drops until you're at 0 when your arms are right up and down with the ground. So I like the machine because it's very smooth and it provides tension at that bottom end range. Now, it still is a little bit harder at the top, but it is better than dumbbells, and ever since I've got this lateral raise machine, I have never done a dumbbell lateral raise since, because I think this machine is so good. You can do long length partials on it. It's freaking amazing. It's one of the exercises that I've definitely built up my delts over the period that I've had it. Next, I'm going to go with a cable lateral raise. Now, this one's a bit iffy because normally when people do cable lateral raises, they do it one arm at a time. Now, I'm not a huge fan of one arm at a time exercises because they take up twice as long, and you got to push yourself on one side, and it's like, okay, but then you got to do it on the other side, so you really got to be motivated to be able to go through twice the pain by doing it double the amount of times. So for me, I always prefer 2-arm exercises. So if I were to do cable lateral raises, I would do a cuffed behind the back variation where I can do both arms at the same time. And I would also raise the height of the cables up so you get peak tension in the stretch position. And when the cable is placed behind you and the resistance profile is behind you like that, that may line up a little bit better with the side delt fibers. And when we're talking about building bolder shoulders, it's probably better to emphasize the side delts rather than the front or even the rear delts, because the side delts are what's going to get you that width. Yes, the front and rear heads complete the Death Star delt look, but really it's the side delts that you really want to be focusing on, and that's why that's what I really focus on when I'm doing delts. So cable lateral raise, if you're doing the 2-arm variation. If you're doing the 1-arm, I still think it's a great exercise, just you gotta, push through the pain twice as much and stuff like that. But the 2-arm behind the back cuff cable lateral raise, freaking love that one, would definitely recommend it. The next exercise I'm going for is a machine shoulder press. Now, you may have seen me at home or whatever. I do a lot of dumbbell shoulder press, and that's because I do have a machine alternative, but I just kind of I have the lever arms. I'm just too lazy to freaking set them up. But if you don't have a machine to do shoulder pressing, I would say dumbbells are a good second option, and I do prefer the machine over the dumbbells slightly because it's more stable and it's a lot safer, and I find I can just connect with the front delt a lot more, because obviously when you're doing a pressing motion, you're going to be mainly working that front delt. So I would have to say best exercise for the front delt. I would definitely veer more towards, again, training the lateral head, but if you are going to train your front delt, machine shoulder press, definitely what I would recommend. And next exercise is a bit odd because you just heard me say I think that I really don't like doing 1-arm exercise at a time. But I'm going to go with the single arm cable crossover reverse fly, and specifically only doing half the range of motion in the stretch position. Now, for me anyway, whenever I do standard regular cable crossover reverse flies, I have a real hard time feeling my rear delts work. I find that my mid traps take over a lot when I do cable crossover reverse flies. So when I do this variation that you're seeing right now, I find I can isolate my rear delt better than if I were to do both arms at the same time. And you can only do this super stretch variation when you do one arm at a time. You can do that whole 2-arm cross, but that really doesn't feel comfortable to me because one shoulder is higher than the other. So I actually do this exercise unilaterally in one arm at a time. So probably, again, not the best in terms of time efficiency, and of course you got to push yourself twice as hard again, but this is the only exercise that I can really feel my rear delt being isolated here and not have my mid back take over. So I do this one a lot, and I find I can really, the pump is really in the rear delt and it takes it away from the mid traps. Last exercise I'm going to have is going to be the cable face pull, and I know I just said, well, my mid traps are taking over on the rear delt flies. Don't they take over on the face pulls? They do, but for whatever reason, whenever I do face pulls, my rear delts are always getting really freaking sore, and I love face pulls and I feel like they work a lot. The only thing is many people do face pulls wrong, and when I do face pulls, I would recommend you lie on the floor so it's not, the cable isn't pulling you forward. That means you're a lot more stable, and when you're doing a face pull, remember, you want to be pulling it to your face. Honestly, think about doing a rear double bicep so you're out in front, and then rear double bicep like that, but with a neutral palm instead of, supinating it. So you're like that, and that's going to engage your rear delts and your mid back quite a bit, but I really like it. I can feel my delts working pretty well. So that's the last exercise on this list. Let me know if you guys agree with my top 5. I think these are all 5 great rear delt builders. Now, I would definitely, again, prioritize the side delts more than the front and rear, but those other front and rear delt exercises are going to build those heads very well. So that's it for the video, guys. Let me know again if you agree with me, and if you made it this far, please do subscribe. We just hit 800 subs, and I believe at the time of recording it's around 811, so I can't thank you guys enough. The channel is doing so well right now. I really appreciate it. School is starting up, so it's going to be difficult for me to get these daily uploads in, but I'm going to do my best for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.